Class 12th Psychology Chapter 8 Psychology and Life. Relationship between human behavior and the environment plays a special role in our lives. These days, there is a growing awareness that environmental problems such as noise, air, water, and soil pollution, and unsatisfactory ways of garbage disposal have damaging effects on physical health. Less known is the fact that these forms of pollution, along with many other hidden factors in the environment, influence psychological health and functioning as well. A branch of psychology called environmental psychology deals with various psychological issues pertaining the human environment interaction in a very broad sense of term. The word environment refers to all that is around us, literally everything that surrounds us, including the physical, social, work, and cultural environment. In general, it includes all the forces outside human beings to which they respond in some way. In the present section, the discussion will center around the physical environment. Ecology is the study of relationships between living beings and their environment. In psychology, the focus is on the interdependence between the environment and the people, as the environment becomes meaningful with reference to the human beings who live in it. In this context, a distinction can be made between the natural environment and the built environment, as the name itself suggests that part of nature which remains untouched by human hand is the natural environment. On the other hand, whatever has been created by human beings within the natural world is known as built environment. Cities, houses, offices, factories, bridges, malls, etc. are some examples of built environments. The built environment usually involves the concept of environmental design. The idea of design contains some psychological features such as the creativity of human mind as expressed in the work of architects, town planners, and civil engineers, the sense of human control over the natural environment as shown in the building of dams to regulate the natural flow of rivers, the influence on the kind of social interaction that takes place in a designed environment. This feature is reflected, for instance, in the distance between houses in a colony, the location of rooms within a home, or in the arrangement of work desks and seats in an office for formal and informal gatherings. Different views of human environment relationship. The minimalist perspective assumes that the physical environment has minimal or negligible influence on human behavior, health, and well being. The physical environment and human beings exist as parallel components. The instrumental perspective suggests that the physical environment exists mainly for use of human beings for their comfort and well being. Most of the human influences on the environment reflect the instrumental perspective. The spiritual perspective refers to the view of the environment as something to be respected and valued rather than exploited. It implies that human beings recognize the interdependent relationship between themselves and the environment. That is, human beings will exist and will be happy only as long as the environment is kept healthy and natural. The traditional Indian view about this environment supports the spiritual perspective. We have at least two examples of this perspective: the customs of Bishnoi community in Rajasthan and the Chipko movement in Uttarakhand region. By contrast, we find the examples of people damaging or destroying the environment, which is a negative instance of the instrumental perspective. Environmental effects on human behavior. The human environment relationship can be appreciated fully by understanding that two influence each other and depend on each other for their survival and maintenance. When we focus our attention on the effects of natural environment on human beings, we find a variety of environmental influences, ranging from physical effects such as a change of clothing in response to climate change to severe psychological effects such as serious depression after a natural disaster. Some of the effects pointed out by psychologists are described below. Environmental influences on perception. Some aspects of the environment influence human perception. For example, as you have studied in class 11th, a tribal society in Africa lives in circular huts, that is, in houses without angular walls. They show less error in geometric illusion than most people from most of the cities who live in houses with angular walls. Environmental influences on emotions. The environment affects our emotional reactions as well. Watching nature in any form, whether it is a quiet flowing river, a smiling flower, or a tranquil mountain top, provides a kind of joy that cannot be matched by any other experience. Natural disasters such as floods, droughts, landslides, quakes on earth or under the ocean can affect people emotions such an extent that they experience deep depression and sorrow, a sense of complete helplessness and lack of control over their lives. Ecological influences on occupation, living style and attitudes. The natural environment of particular region determines whether people living in that region rely on agriculture or on other occupants such as hunting and gathering. In turn, the occupation determines the lifestyle and attitudes of the residents of a particular geographical region. Human influence on environment. Human beings also exert their influence on the natural environment for fulfilling their physical needs and other purposes. All the examples of built environment express human influence over the environment. For example, the human beings started building something called houses by changing their natural environment in order to provide shelter for himself or herself. Some of these humans harm and damage the environment and ultimately harm themselves in numerous ways. For example, human beings use appliances such as refrigerators and air conditioners that generate chemical substances known as CFCs or chlorofluorocarbons that pollute the air and in the long run may be responsible for the physical diseases such as some forms of cancer. Noise, pollution, crowding, and natural disasters are some examples of environmental stressors which are stimuli or conditions in the environment that create a stress for human beings. Noise. Any sound that is annoying or irritating and felt to be unpleasant is said to be noise. From common experience, it is known that noise, especially for long periods of time, is uncomfortable and puts people in an unpleasant mood. Exposure to noise for a long period of time may lead to hearing loss. Apart from that, noise has negative effects of mental activity because it reduces concentration. Many of you might have experienced this when you tried to study for your examination with neighbors celebrating a marriage with loud music. Three characteristics of noise have been found to determine its effect on task performance, namely intensity, predictability, and controllability of noise. Systematic research on the effects of noise on human beings tells us the following. When the task being performed is simple mental tasks such as addition of numbers, noise does not affect overall performance, whether it is loud or soft. In such situations, people adapt to get used to noise. If the task being performed is very interesting, then too the presence of noise does not affect performance. This is because the nature of the task helps the individual to pay full attention to the task and ignore the noise. This also may be one kind of adaptation. When the noise comes in intervals and in unpredictable ways, it is experienced as more disturbing than if the noise is coming continuously. When the task being performed is difficult or requires full concentration, then intense, unpredictable, and uncontrollable noise reduces the level of task performance. When tolerating or switching off the noise is within the control of the person, the number of errors in the task performance decreases. In terms of emotional effects, noise above a certain level causes annoyance and can also lead to sleep disturbance. These effects are also reduced if the noise is controllable or is necessary as a part of the person's occupation. However, continued exposure to the uncontrollable and annoying noise can have harmful effects on the health. Pollution. Environmental pollution may be in the form of air, water, soil, etc. Water or garbage that comes from households or from industries are a big source of air, water, and soil pollution. Scientists know it is very well that any of these forms of pollution is hazardous to physical health. Crowding. Most of us are familiar with crowds, which are large informal groups of persons coming together temporarily without any particular goal. For example, when famous person suddenly appears on the road, people who are present in the situation at that time often collect around the scene just to watch that person. But crowding has a different meaning. It refers to a feeling of discomfort because there are too many people or things around us, giving us the experience of physical restriction and sometimes the lack of privacy. Crowding is a person's reaction to the presence of a large number of people within a particular area or space. When this number goes beyond a certain level, it causes stress to individuals caught in that situation. In this sense, crowding is another example of an environmental stressor. The stressful effects of crowding can be understood only when we look into its consequences. Crowding and high density may lead to abnormal behavior and aggression. This was shown many years ago in study of rats. These animals were placed in an enclosure, initially in a small number. As their population increased within that enclosed space, they started showing aggressive and unusual behavior, such as biting the tails of other rats. This aggressive behavior increased to such an extent that ultimately the animals died in large numbers, thus decreasing the population. Crowding leads to lowered performance on difficult tasks that involve cognitive processes and has adverse effects on memory and emotional state. These negative effects are seen to a similar extent in people who are used in crowded situations. Children growing up in very crowded households show lower academic performance. They also show a weaker tendency to continue working on a task if they are unsuccessful at it, compared to the children growing up in non crowded households. The nature of social interaction determines the degree to which an individual will react to crowding. Individuals differ in the degree to which they show negative effects of crowding and also in the nature of these reactions. Two kinds of tolerance can be mentioned that may explain these differences, that is, crowding tolerance and competition tolerance. In social situations, human beings like to maintain a certain physical distance from the person with whom they are interacting. This is called interpersonal physical distance and is a part of the broader concept called personal space, that is, the physical space we like to have all around us. One reason for the negative reactions to crowding, as described earlier, is the decrease in personal space. Personal space can vary between people, between situations and settings, and between cultures. Some average distances have been observed in certain cultures. Edward Hill, an anthropologist, mentioned four kinds of interpersonal physical distance depending on the situation. Intimate distance, up to 18 inches. The distance you maintain when you are talking privately to someone interacting with a close friend or relative. Personal distance, 18 inches to 4 feet. The distance you maintain when you are interacting one to one with a close friend, relative, or even with someone not very close to you in a work setting or other social situation. Social distance, 4 to 10 feet. The distance you maintain when you interact with someone in a formal sense. Public distance, 10 feet to infinity. The distance you maintain in a formal setting where there is a large number of persons. For example, the distance of an audience from a public speaker or teacher in a classroom. It may be noted that these distances are maintained voluntarily, keeping in mind the comfort experienced by the persons involved in the interaction. Natural disasters. What are the effects of natural disasters? First, they leave people power stricken, homeless, without any resources, usually along with the loss of everything they owned. Second, they suddenly loss of all their belongings as well as their dear ones leaves people shocked and stunned. This is sufficient to create a deep seated psychological disorder. Natural disasters are traumatic experiences that is emotionally wounding and shocking to those who survive the disaster. Post traumatic stress disorder (PTSD) is a severe psychological problem that results from traumatic events such as natural disasters. This disorder has the following features. The immediate reaction to a disaster is commonly one of disorientation. People take some time to understand the full meaning what the disaster has done to them. They may actually deny to themselves that something terrible has happened. Physical reactions such as bodily exhaustion, even without physical activity, difficulty in sleeping, change in eating pattern, etc., can be found among the victims. Emotional reactions such as grief and fear, irritability and anger, helplessness, hopelessness, depression, etc., are found. Cognitive reactions such as worry, difficulty in concentration, reduced span of attention, confusion, loss of memory, or vivid memories that are unwanted. Social reactions such as withdrawal from others, getting into conflict with others, having frequent arguments with loved ones, and feeling rejected or left out. These reactions may last for a long time, in some cases throughout life. However, with proper counseling and psychiatric treatment, PTSD can be remedied at least up to a level where the victim can be motivated and helped to start a new life. Promoting pro environmental behavior. Pro environmental behavior includes both actions that are meant to protect the environment from problems and to promote a healthy environment. Some promotive actions to protect the environment from the pollution are reducing air pollution by keeping vehicles in good condition or changing the non fuel driven vehicles, stopping the practice of smoke. Reducing noise pollution by ensuring that noise levels are low. For example, discouraging needless honking on the road or making rules regarding noisy music at certain hours. Managing disposal of garbage sensibly. Planting trees and ensuring their care, keeping in mind that those plants are the trees that will give us good environment around us in the future. Saying no to plastic in any form, thus reducing toxic waste that pollute water, air, and the soil. Reducing the non biodegradability packing of consumer goods. Laws related construction that violate optimal environmental design. Psychology and social concerns. If you ask someone to list the main problems that our society faces today, you can be fairly sure that two problems will be mentioned: poverty and violence. Both of these phenomena have noticeable effects on physical as well as psychological health of people. It has to be understood that poverty is not merely an economic problem and violence is not merely a question of breaking the law. Rather, these problems can be resolved only if we examine their psychological causes. Psychologists have actively explored these issues and have focused on the causes and consequences of these phenomena. Poverty and discrimination. Everyone agrees that poverty is a curse on the society, and the more quickly we get rid of it, the better it will be for the society. Some experts define poverty mainly in economic terms and measure it in terms of income, nutrition, and the amount spent on basic necessities of life, such as food, clothing, and shelter. Some authors add that the sense of deprivation and social disadvantage are additional features of poverty. A distinction between deprivation and poverty is that deprivation refers to the state in which a person feels that he or she has lost something valuable and is not getting something which he or she deserves. Poverty refers to an actual shortage of resources, necessity for living, and thus can be somewhat objectively defined. Major causes of poverty. Poverty is sometimes caused by natural disasters such as earthquakes, floods, and cyclones, or man made disasters such as poisonous gas leaks. When such events take place, people suddenly lose all their possessions and have to face poverty. Similarly, one generation of the poor may be unable to eradicate their poverty, and the next generation continues to remain in poverty. Apart from these causes, other factors responsible for poverty have been mentioned below. The poor themselves are responsible for their poverty. According to this view, the poor lack the ability and motivation to put in efforts and make use of available opportunities. In general, such a view about the poor is rather negative and does not help at all in making them better. It is not the individual but a belief system, a way of life and values in which he or she is brought up that is the cause of poverty. Economic, social, and political factors together account for poverty. Because of discrimination, certain sections of society are denied the opportunities needed for getting even the basic necessities of life. The geographic region in which one lives is said to be a significant cause of poverty. The poverty cycle is an important cause of poverty that explains why poverty tends to cause and continue among the same sections of the society. Measures of poverty alleviation. Breaking the poverty cycle and helping the poor attain self sufficiency. Initially, finance relief, medical, and other facilities may have to be provided to the poor. Care should be taken to see that this financial and other help does not make the poor dependent on sources for their livelihood. Creating a context for making the poor take responsibility instead of blame for their poverty. Providing educational and employment opportunities. Measures for improved medical and mental health. Steps for empowering the poor. Through the measures mentioned above, the poor should be made more powerful, capable of living independently and with dignity without depending on the help given by the government or any other groups. Aggression, violence, and peace. Aggression and violence are among the major problems in today's society, and they cover a wide range of behaviors from ragging of new outcomers in educational institutes and through child abuse, domestic violence, murder and rape to riots and terrorist attacks. Psychologists use the term aggression to refer to any behavior by one person or persons that is intended to cause harm to another person or persons. A distinction can also be made between instrumental aggression and hostile aggression. In instrumental aggression, the act of aggression is meant to obtain a certain goal or object. For example, a bully slaps a new student in school so that he or she can snatch the newcomer's chocolate. Hostile aggression is that when which is shown as an expression of anger towards the target with the intention of harming him or her. Causes of aggression. Inborn tendency. Aggressiveness is an inborn tendency among human beings. Biologically, this inborn tendency may be meant for self defense. Psychological mechanisms. Aggression could be also indirectly triggered by psychological mechanisms, especially by the activation of certain parts of brain that play a role in emotional experience. Child rearing. The way an individual is brought up also often influences his or her aggressiveness. For example, children whose parents use physical punishment end up becoming more aggressive than children whose parents use disciplinary techniques. Frustration. Aggression is an expression and consequence of frustration, that is, an emotional state that arises when a person is prevented from reaching a goal or attaining an object that he or she wants. An American psychologist, John Dollard, along with his collaborators, conducted research specifically to examine the frustration aggression theory. This theory proposes that it is frustration that leads to aggression. As expected, frustration and frustrated people did demonstrate more aggressive than non frustrated persons. Moreover, such aggression was often showed towards a weaker person who was unlikely or unable to react to his aggression. This phenomenon has been called as displacement. Health. Our understanding about health and well being has undergone a major change in recent times. It is now considered that various health outcomes are not only a function of disease but the way we think and behave. This finds reflection in the definition of health provided by the World Health Organization, which includes biological, psychological, and social aspects of health. It focuses not only on physical but also on mental and spiritual aspects of health. We will concern ourselves with the physical health in this section as you have already read about the mental health in the previous chapters. Health and illness are a matter of degree. One may suffer or may be suffering from a physical disability or a disease but may be quite healthy otherwise. You may recall the names of Baba Amte or Stephen Hawking, both of whom suffered from crippling diseases but have made great contributions in their field. At individual level, psychologists point to various factors such as health related cognitions, including attitudes and beliefs, behaviors, and social factors which are associated with physical well being or illness. Cognitions. You may have observed how people are quick to seek doctor's help while others do not if they are suffering from symptoms like nausea, cold, diarrhea, smallpox, etc. The variations in seeking help are due to differences in mental representations. People make relating to a disease, its severity, and the causes of disease. One may not seek doctor's help for a cold if one attributes to it eating curd, or for leproscopy or smallpox if these are attributed to God's annoyance. Behavior. Psychologists have found that strong evidence which shows that behavior we engage in our lives and lifestyles greatly influence health. People differ greatly in terms of such behavioral risks as smoking or tobacco use, alcohol and drug abuse, are unsafe sexual behavior, diet, and physical exercise. Social and cultural factors. There is now a growing body of research which shows that social and cultural differences may influence our psychological responses and may not be same across all cultures. Impact of television on behavior. There is no doubt that television has been a useful product of technological progress. However, from the point of its psychological impact on human beings, both positive and negative effects have been observed. Many research studies have inquired into the effects of television viewing on cognitive processes and social behavior, especially in Western cultures. First, television provides a large amount of infotainment in an attractive form and in the visual mode, for which it becomes a very powerful medium of instruction. Second, television watching may have an effect on children's ability to concentrate on one target, their creativity and ability to understand, and also their social interactions. In case of adults as well as children, it is said that a consumerist attitude has developed, and this is due to television watching. Numerous products are advertised, and it is very natural for the viewer to get carried away. No matter how these results are interpreted, they may seem to be sufficient evidence to pose a warning to limited television watching.